Good morning, students. Happy Monday. I wanted to begin this week with our life lesson, of course, like I always do. And then I'll go through the week schedule for you guys, and I'll be posting that on Google Classroom later. So on this, the last week of school before we go on winter break, I wanted to read you the life lesson called Here Comes the Real Santa Claus. And this is written by Becky Sun. Becky writes, I believe in Santa Claus. No, I didn't always believe, but 9 years ago on Christmas Eve, he knocked on my front door and handed me a stocking filled with candy and toys. Unlike the majority of my friends, I wasn't introduced to the jolly guy until second grade. My family emigrated from Taiwan to a small town in central Georgia, where my dad got a visa for his family and a job doctoring inmates at a nearby penitentiary. I had just learned English, and from what I could gather from my class lights, there was this guy who would come down one's chimney and put toys in one's stocking on Christmas Eve. What a great country, I thought. After I looked up the word stocking in my Chinese to English dictionary, I knew what I had to do. On that fateful night, after everyone went to bed, I took my longest, cleanest knee sock and attached it to a nail already on the mantle. Obviously, the previous owners of this house were no strangers to this Santa character. Unfortunately, my parents were. I woke up before everyone else on Christmas Day and ran to the fireplace. To make my sob story short, I was hit with the reality of an empty sock and the biggest lie ever told. I indulged in a few tears, quickly took down the sock, and stuffed it in the back of a drawer. Every December since then, the topic of Christmas memories would inevitably come up, and I would regale my friends with my poor little me story. I had to make it as wry as possible, or else I would cry. How could I know that Santa was just late? 9 years ago on Christmas Eve, an older man with a white beard and a red cap knocked on my front door. He said, I've been looking for you for 25 years. He handed me a bulging red stocking, winked, and left. On top of the stocking was a card. It read, For Becky. I may have missed you in the second grade, but you've always lived in my heart. Santa. Through tear-blurred eyes, I recognized the curly-Q handwriting of Jill, a friend I had just met 2 months before. I later discovered that the older man was her father. Jill had seen the hurt little girl underneath the jaded 30-something woman and decided to do something about it. So now, I believe that Santa is real. And I don't mean the twinkly-eyed elf of children's mythology or the creation of American holiday marketers. I believe in the Santa that dwells deep inside good and thoughtful people. This Santa does not return to the North Pole after a 24-hour delivery frenzy, but lives each day purposefully, really listens to friends, and then plans deliberate acts of kindness. 2 snaps for acts of kindness. 1, 2, 3. So my dear students, I chose this life lesson for this week. Obviously, it's timely with the Christian holiday Christmas coming around the corner, but it's also a good reminder of how we can reach out and help others in need during this time, which is so great. Obviously, we know this year has been extremely hard because of this pandemic, and we've all suffered to varying degrees because of it. So I want you to take some time to reflect this week on what you can do to help those in need in lots of different ways. It could be giving gifts to somebody who won't be getting them otherwise and donating toys for kids. It could be just listening to a friend who needs that extra ear. So how can you be a real Santa Claus to somebody? I wanted to end the video by going through the schedule for this week. I am going to be posting this to the stream in Google Classroom, and I'll post it with a life lesson as well. Today's assignment is just the life lesson in the Google form. You guys did the test for me on Friday, so I'm going to be trying to catch up this week and grading those and posting those grades online for you guys. Tomorrow is our introduction to Islam. So this week we're going to be starting that new section, that new religion, studying that new religion. Was not the ideal way that I wanted to begin this unit, remote. This is one of the religions that I find to be the most helpful for students to understand because it's one that they're the most unfamiliar with or have the most misinformation about. So regardless, onward and upward, we will be starting our study of Islam this week. So tomorrow you will have an introduction reading to Islam and a Google form to fill out for just those true-false questions to start it out. And then we'll be looking at the vocabulary starting on Wednesday. So I will post the vocab on Tuesday, And then we're going to be discussing it on our live Google Meet on Wednesday. We're going to go through those words and the categories. So I'm going to be giving you guys the answers for the vocab groups, and that assignment will be due on Thursday. And then Thursday and Friday, we'll be looking at the life of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the history of Islam. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and send me an email. You can request a Google Meet. We can meet during the time periods that I have office hours for your class. Or, I can let you know when I'm available based on the Google Meets that I have for my other classes as well. So if you have any questions, let me know. I hope you guys have a great week. I'll see you soon. Bye.